She told me, "I've never felt this alive before." I told her, "Good, because I'm done," canceled the wedding, emptied the accounts, walked away smiling, and karma arrived with a diagnosis. "Hey Reddit, I've never felt this alive before," she whispered into her phone, her voice breathy and electric in a way I hadn't heard in years. I stood frozen in the doorway of our bedroom, groceries still in my hands, watching my fiancée sprawled across our bed with her laptop open and her phone pressed to her ear. She hadn't heard me come in. "God, I can't wait until he's at the conference next week," she continued, twirling a strand of hair around her finger. "We'll have 3 whole days." The bag slipped from my grip. A jar of pasta sauce shattered on the hardwood floor. Her head whipped around, eyes wide, phone tumbling onto the duvet. "Baby, I didn't hear you come home. I'm 33. We'd been together for 6 years, engaged for 8 months. The wedding was scheduled for 6 weeks away. I just picked up my custom tuxedo that morning." "Who were you talking to?" My voice came out calmer than I expected. That was Melissa. "From work. We were just..." "Don't." I held up my hand. "I heard what you said. All of it." The color drained from her face. She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. "It's not what you think." I laughed. Actually laughed. The sound surprised both of us. "You know what? You're right." I stepped over the broken glass, walked past her to the closet, and pulled out my overnight bag. "It's probably worse than what I think." "Wait. Please, let me explain." "Who is he?" She went silent. "Answer me, Vanessa. Who is he?" "His name is Trevor," she whispered. He's from my CrossFit gym." Of course he was. The gym she'd joined 4 months ago. The gym she went to every morning at 5 a.m. and 3 evenings a week. The gym that had transformed her body and, apparently, her entire value system. I started throwing clothes into my bag. Methodically, calmly. "Baby, please, it was just talking. We haven't actually done anything. I swear." I turned to face her. "You just told him you can't wait until I'm gone so you can spend 3 days with him. What exactly were you planning to do? Play Scrabble?" She flinched. "How long?" 2 months, she admitted, her voice barely audible. "But we really haven't." 2 months. I zipped the bag. 2 months of lying to my face. 2 months of morning workouts that probably didn't involve much working out. 2 months while we've been planning our wedding, sending out invitations, choosing centerpieces. "We haven't slept together yet," I said. "You haven't slept together yet. But you were counting down the days until you could." Tears streamed down her face. "I love you. I do. He makes me feel alive." "Yeah, I heard that part." I grabbed my toiletry bag from the bathroom. "I'm glad someone does. Must be exhausting, being so dead inside while planning to marry me. That's not fair." "Fair?" I stopped packing and stared at her. "You want to talk about fair? I worked 60-hour weeks for 3 years to save for the down payment on this condo. Our condo. The one you picked out. I've been taking online courses at night to finish my MBA because you said it would help our future. Our future, Vanessa. And while I've been building a life for us, you've been emotionally cheating on me with some CrossFit bro named Trevor." "I'm sorry," she sobbed. "I'm so sorry. It just happened. Nothing just happens. You made choices. Every single morning you woke up and chose to text him. Every time you laughed at his jokes and felt that little thrill, you chose that over us." I shouldered my bag and walked toward the door. She grabbed my arm. "Please don't go. We can work through this. We can go to counseling. I'll stop seeing him. I'll quit the gym. Whatever you need." I looked down at her hand on my sleeve, then at her face, mascara running, eyes red and puffy, desperate. "You know what the worst part is?" I said softly. "I'm not even angry. I'm relieved." That stopped her cold. "Relieved?" she repeated. "Yeah, because I just realized I don't have to marry someone who could do this to me. I don't have to spend the next 50 years wondering when you'll feel alive with someone else. I'm free." I pulled my arm away and walked out. She didn't follow. I drove to my brother's apartment across town. He opened the door in his pajama pants, took one look at my face, and stepped aside without a word. "Guest room's all yours," he said, closing the door behind me. "Beer's in the fridge. Want to talk about it?" "Not yet." "Okay." That's why I loved my brother. No interrogation. No pity. Just space. I sat on his couch and stared at my phone. 12 texts from Vanessa. I didn't read them. Instead, I opened my banking app. We had a joint account for wedding expenses. I'd contributed 70% of it, roughly $42,000. My money, my savings, my future. I transferred every penny to my personal account. Then I called the wedding venue. "Hello, this is David with Riverside Estate. How can I help you?" "Hi, David. This is the groom from the September 14th wedding. I need to cancel." Silence on the other end. Then, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you sure? We're only 6 weeks out. You'll lose your deposit." "I'm aware. Cancel it, please." "All right. I'll process that today." Again, "I'm very sorry." "Don't be. Best decision I've made all year." Next call, the photographer, then the caterer, the florist, the DJ, the cake designer. Each conversation the same. Surprise. Awkward condolences. Cancellation fees I didn't care about. By the time I finished, I'd lost about $15,000 in deposits. Worth every penny. My phone buzzed. Vanessa calling. I declined. Another text. "Please pick up. I need to talk to you. I made a terrible mistake." I blocked her number. My brother emerged from his bedroom with 2 beers. He handed me one and sat down. "So," he said carefully, "want to tell me why you're on my couch at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday?" I took a long drink. Vanessa's been having an emotional affair with some guy from her gym. I overheard her on the phone with him. She was planning to spend 3 days with him while I was supposed to be at a conference next week. My brother's jaw tightened. That piece of, I canceled the wedding. All of it. His eyes widened. "Tonight? You canceled everything tonight. Every vendor. Emptied the joint account too." He let out a low whistle. "Damn. How do you feel?" I thought about it. Really thought about it. Honestly, like I dodged a bullet. He clinked his beer against mine. "You did." The next morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls from Vanessa's mother, 38 texts from various friends and relatives, and 1 email from Vanessa with the subject line, "Please read this." I deleted the email without opening it. My brother had already left for work, but he'd left coffee brewing and a note on the counter. "Take the day off. You earned it." I called in sick, then sat down with my laptop to deal with the logistical nightmare I'd created. First order of business, the condo. It was in both our names, but I'd paid 80% of the down payment. I emailed my lawyer to start the process of either buying her out or selling it entirely. Second, disentangling our finances. Besides the joint wedding account, we had shared streaming services, a car insurance policy, and a phone plan. I started making calls. Third, my stuff. I'd need to get my belongings out of the condo, which meant I'd have to see her again eventually. Or did I? I called my brother. "Hey, can you do me a huge favor?" "Depends on the favor. I need someone to go to the condo with me to get my stuff. Preferably someone who won't let me talk to Vanessa if she tries to start a conversation." "When?" "Today. Now, if you can. I'll leave work early. Give me 2 hours. You're the best." "I know." We arrived at the condo at 3 p.m. My brother insisted on going in first to make sure Vanessa wasn't home. She wasn't, but she'd left a note on the kitchen counter, written in her careful handwriting on our nice stationery. "I know you don't want to talk to me. I understand. But please know that I never meant to hurt you. You deserve better than what I did. I'm staying at my sister's place. Take whatever you need. The condo is yours if you want it. I'm so sorry. V." My brother read it over my shoulder. "She's not fighting you on anything?" "Apparently not." Weird. It was weird. Vanessa was many things, but she wasn't a quitter. The fact that she'd rolled over this easily meant one of 2 things. She felt genuinely horrible, or she wanted to clear her conscience quickly so she could move on to Trevor guilt-free. I crumpled the note and threw it in the trash. It took us 3 hours to pack up everything that mattered to me. Clothes, books, my gaming setup, the vintage record player my grandfather had given me, photographs from before Vanessa that I wanted to keep. As we loaded the last box into my brother's truck, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Then curiosity got the better of me. Hello. Hi. Is this Vanessa's fiancé? A male voice. Unfamiliar. Tentative. Everything clicked into place. Let me guess, I said. Trevor. A pause. Yeah. Look, man, I didn't know she was engaged until yesterday. She never mentioned you. I found your number in her phone because she kept crying and saying your name. I thought I should call. I laughed. I couldn't help it. You thought you should call, I repeated. To what? Apologize? Explain? Make yourself feel better. I wanted you to know I didn't know. She told me she was single. We met at the gym, started talking, and it just escalated. I wouldn't have pursued her if I'd known she was engaged. That's fascinating, Trevor. Really. But here's the thing, I don't care. What? I don't care about your guilt. I don't care about your moral crisis. You did me a favor, actually. You showed me exactly who I was about to marry. So thanks for that. Dude, we done here? I guess so. Great. Delete this number. Have a nice life. I hung up. My brother stared at me. That was the guy? That was the guy? He called you. Apparently, he didn't know she was engaged. Felt bad. Wanted to clear his conscience. My brother shook his head in disbelief. What a mess. Not my mess anymore. The next few weeks passed in a blur. I stayed with my brother while my lawyer worked on the condo situation. Vanessa agreed to sell it and split the proceeds based on our initial contributions. She signed the paperwork without argument, without trying to contact me, without drama. Her absence was almost unsettling. Friends kept reaching out, asking what happened, if I was okay, if there was anything they could do. I gave everyone the same basic story. Irreconcilable differences, better to end it now than later. I'm fine. Most people accepted that. A few pushed for details I didn't give them. The worst part wasn't the heartbreak. Honestly, I wasn't heartbroken. The worst part was the humiliation. Every time I thought about the wedding invitations we'd sent, the registry we'd created, the enthusiastic congratulations we'd received, I felt a fresh wave of embarrassment. But even that faded. 6 weeks after I'd walked out, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. This is Amanda, Vanessa's sister. I know you probably don't want to hear from anyone in her family, but I thought you should know she's in the hospital. She's okay, but there's been some news. She asked me not to tell you, but I think you deserve to know. I stared at the message for a full minute before responding. What kind of news? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. She was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. They found it during a routine screening last week. She's starting treatment next month. My stomach dropped. I'm sorry to hear that, I typed. I hope she recovers. She keeps saying she deserves this. That it's karma for what she did to you. I told her that's crazy, but she won't listen. I thought maybe if you knew. I didn't respond to that. What could I possibly say? I set my phone down and leaned back against my brother's couch, staring at the ceiling. Cancer. Vanessa had cancer. Part of me, the part that had loved her for 6 years, that had planned a life with her, felt a deep, aching sympathy. Nobody deserved cancer. Not for any reason. But another part of me, the part that was still raw from her betrayal, felt nothing. No satisfaction. No vindication. Just emptiness. You okay? My brother had appeared in the doorway, coffee mug in hand. Vanessa has cancer. He froze. What? Stage 2 breast cancer. Her sister just told me. He sat down slowly. Shit. Yeah. Are you going to? Going to what? Visit her? Send flowers? Pretend the last 2 months didn't happen? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said finally. I'm not going to do anything. You sure? I'm sure. She made her choices. I made mine. She's got family, friends, probably Trevor to support her through this. She doesn't need me. My brother nodded slowly. All right, just making sure. But the news haunted me anyway. 2 weeks later, I ran into Vanessa's best friend, Nicole, at the grocery store. She saw me first. I watched her face shift from surprise to discomfort to determination as she walked toward me. Hey, she said. Hey, how are you? I'm good. You? I've been better. She hesitated. I heard Amanda told you about Vanessa. She did. Are you going to visit her? There it was. The question I'd been dreading. No, I said simply. Nicole's expression hardened. She's sick. She's scared. She's going through treatment alone. She's not alone. She has her family, her friends. Trevor, presumably. Trevor's gone. He bailed the second he found out she was sick. I wish I could say that surprised me, but it didn't. That's unfortunate, I said. But it's still not my problem. How can you be so cold? You loved her. I did love her. And then I overheard her planning to cheat on me. Those are two separate truths, Nicole. They don't cancel each other out. She made a mistake. She made a choice. A series of choices, actually, over 2 months. And now she's dealing with the consequences of those choices, plus some really terrible luck. I feel bad for her. I genuinely do. But I'm not going back to fix it for her. Nicole shook her head. I thought you were a better person than this. Maybe I'm not. Or maybe I'm just done setting myself on fire to keep other people warm. I grabbed my cart and walked away. Her words echoed in my head for days. I thought you were a better person than this. Was I a bad person for not visiting Vanessa? For not offering support during her illness? I called my therapist, a woman I'd started seeing after the breakup, and asked her, "Do you think you're a bad person?" she asked. I don't know. Everyone keeps implying I should do something, that it's the right thing to do. But every time I think about seeing her, I feel sick. Why do you think that is? Because I don't want to be her emotional support animal while she goes through treatment. I don't want to be guilted into forgiving her because she's sick. And I definitely don't want to confuse pity for love. Those all sound like healthy boundaries to me. Then why do I feel guilty? Because you're a compassionate person who's been conditioned to believe that compassion means sacrificing your own well-being for others. It doesn't. I sat with that for a while. You can feel sympathy for someone suffering without taking responsibility for fixing it, she continued. Vanessa has resources. She has people who love her. She'll get through this with or without you. Your only obligation is to yourself. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. The condo sold 3 months after I'd moved out. I got my share of the money, more than I'd put in, actually, thanks to the market. I used some of it to put a down payment on a small house across town. Nothing fancy. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a little yard. But it was mine. Just mine. I threw a housewarming party. My brother brought beer. My friends brought pizza. We stayed up until 2 a.m. playing cards and laughing about stupid things. Nobody mentioned Vanessa. Around midnight, I stepped outside for some air. The night was cool and clear, stars visible despite the city lights. My phone buzzed. Another unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Hello. It's me. Vanessa's voice, raspy and tired. Please don't hang up. I should have. I really should have. What do you want? I heard you bought a house. Congratulations. Thanks. Silence. I start chemotherapy tomorrow, she said finally. They're taking both breasts. Full mastectomy. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Of course I am. I'm not a monster, Vanessa. I know. I know you're not. That's why I called. I wanted to tell you that I understand why you're not here. I don't blame you. Okay. And I wanted to say thank you. For what? For leaving. For having enough self-respect to walk away. You deserved better than what I gave you. You deserved better than me. My throat tightened. Yeah, I did. I hope you find someone who makes you happy. Someone who appreciates you the way I should have. I hope your treatment goes well. Thank you. Another silence. I have to go, I said. Wait, one more thing. What? Trevor texted me last week. Asked if I wanted to get coffee after my treatment is done. Said he'd been thinking about me. I laughed. Actually laughed. Please tell me you told him to go to hell. I did. Turns out he makes me feel alive in all the worst ways. Good for you. Goodbye, she said softly. Goodbye, Vanessa. I hung up and went back inside to my friends, my brother, my life. 6 months later, I met someone. Her name was Claire. She worked at the coffee shop near my office. She had dark curly hair and a laugh that sounded like wind chimes. She'd never heard of CrossFit and thought emotional affairs were basically just regular affairs with extra steps. We went on our first date to a used bookstore. Our second date to a food truck festival. Our third date was just sitting in my backyard, drinking wine and talking about our respective disasters in dating. So your ex planned to cheat on you while you were at a work conference? She asked, incredulous. That was the plan, yeah. And you just walked out. Well, first I canceled the wedding and emptied the joint account. Then I walked out. She raised her wine glass. Legend. I clinked mine against hers. I had my moments. What happened to her? Got cancer. We don't talk anymore. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Don't be. She's got good doctors, good insurance, a support system. She'll be fine. And the CrossFit guy? Build the second things got hard. Came crawling back later. She told him to pound sand. Claire grinned. At least she learned something. Something, yeah. She leaned back in her chair, studying me. You're not bitter. No. Why not? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Because being bitter would mean she still had power over me. I'd rather just move on. Have you? Have I what? Moved on. I looked at her, at this woman I'd known for 3 weeks, who made me laugh without trying, who asked real questions and listened to real answers, who hadn't once made me feel like I was her second choice or her backup plan. Yeah, I said. I think I have. She smiled. Good. Because I really like you, and it would be super awkward if you were still hung up on your ex. No danger of that. Excellent. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the sun set over the fenced line of my little house. You know what the weirdest part is? I said eventually. What? I should probably send her a thank you card. For the emotional affair? For showing me who she really was before I married her. Can you imagine if I'd found out 5 years and 2 kids into a marriage? Claire winced. That would have been rough. Exactly. So in a weird way, I dodged a bullet. A really expensive, emotionally devastating bullet, but a bullet nonetheless. That's a very healthy perspective. My therapist would be proud. You're in therapy? Yep. Started right after the breakup. Highly recommend it. Huh. Maybe I should try that. You should. It's like having a personal trainer for your brain. She laughed. That wind chime sound that made my chest feel warm. I like you, she said. I like you too. Want to go inside? It's getting cold. Yeah. Let's go. We gathered our wine glasses and headed into the house. My house. My new life. And I was smiling. A year after I'd walked out of that bedroom with a bag over my shoulder and broken pasta sauce on the floor, I got an email. The subject line read, Update. It was from Vanessa. I'm cancer-free. Finished treatment 3 months ago. Reconstruction surgery went well. I'm starting to feel like myself again. I'm not reaching out to rekindle anything. I just wanted you to know that I made it through. I also wanted to tell you something I learned. You were right. It wasn't about Trevor. It wasn't about feeling alive. It was about me being too much of a coward to face the fact that I was scared of commitment, scared of building a real life, scared of choosing one person forever. Trevor was just an excuse, a distraction, a way to blow everything up before I had to actually go through with marrying you. You deserved honesty. You deserved better. You deserved someone who was brave enough to choose you every single day. I hope you found that person. Take care. V. I read the email twice. Then I forwarded it to my therapist with a single line. Closure feels weird. She responded within an hour. It usually does. How do you feel? Fine, actually. Like I made the right choice. You did. I deleted the email and closed my laptop. Claire was in the kitchen making dinner, humming along to some song on the radio. She turned when she heard me walk in. Everything okay? Yeah. Just got an email from Vanessa. She's cancer-free. Oh, that's great news. It is. You seem weird about it. Just processing, I guess. She walked over and wrapped her arms around me. You're allowed to feel however you feel about it. You know that, right? I know. Good. Now come help me with this pasta sauce before I break another jar. I laughed, really laughed, and kissed her forehead. Let's not make that a tradition. Agreed. We made dinner together in my little kitchen, in my little house, in my new life that I'd built from the rubble of the old one. And I was happy. Genuinely, completely, uncomplicated happy. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. Sometimes it's just living well.